Hello, good people. Today we are going to look at index match formula. Index match formula. Index match formula. So index match formula is a kind of a really super relative function, more powerful than VLOOKUP formula or function in Excel. So VLOOKUP formula is a little bit uh, rigid, and whenever you have huge data, sometimes it it's kind of hectic to be able to use the formula and be able to remove the errors that comes with the VLOOKUP formula. And also VLOOKUP formula requires a standard a standard reorganization of your data, which if it doesn't match that reorganization of data, it means you will be getting errors. But index match does not, because it does not cause inflexibility. It does not slow your spreadsheet, and also it does not make your work so much difficult to comprehend. Um, so we want to use index match instead of using VLOOKUP formula to be able to match the name of the customer in our first table on the right hand side. So let me just indicate what I was talking about earlier. So when we use VLOOKUP formula, if you can be able to, I'll be able to leave a link to a VLOOKUP video that I did a few days ago. I'll leave that link below the description. You can be able to check it up. So let's say we are using a VLOOKUP uh, function here to be able to merge the customer name. So we'll say equal sign VLOOKUP. Then we'll have to look up for the value, and our value here is on column B, and the table array, and our table array here is H and I, the two tables. Then which table are we going to pull our data from is the second column, that is column I. So that is 2, comma, then false to extract exact match. So then you enter. So when you enter, you see it will pull, right? But now when it comes to a bigger data, this is a problem. Why is it a problem? Let's say we've pulled from the second row. So VLOOKUP uh, kind of have a criteria match of columns. In any case that is affected, then we'll able to have some error. So you see, it will throw error. So if we add another column here, because already it's kind of inflexible. The formula is inflexible. So it will only pick the data in the second column of the second table, right? So this will turn to 0. Okay. So let's say this is a city. So let's say uh, Nairobi, let's say uh, let's say um, US or New York, let's say UK, let's say Asia. Right? So it will pick the data in our second column, but it will not give us the data that we want to be displayed. So that's how um, VLOOKUP formula or function is inflexible. And whenever, if you have a bigger data of many rows, and thousands of rows and many columns, you will find that the structure won't be able to come out well. You will have so many errors. So with the index match, that does not happen, right? It is flexible. It is a relative function that you can be able to use. Okay, so when we delete this column, then we are back to what we wanted. Okay, so let's delete column C and see how our index match will work, how it will work for us. So we want to pull our customer name on our first hand right side table. So the index will give us the name, and the match will give us the row. So the formula or the function for index and match would be equal sign index. So index will give us a array, row number, and column number. So what we need is the column. So we'll have G, sorry, not G. We'll have H, because that's what we want. The name, it will return the name. Then we'll have the match. So the match will give us the lookup value. So our lookup value is customer ID. Then our get match would be the ID, that is G. Then comma. Then we exact match, double quote, we close our parenthesis. Then we enter. Once we enter, we have the name of the clients matched appropriately. Now, why was I saying that index match function is a kind of a relative or a kind of a flexible function in Excel? Is that when now we insert a new column in between the customer ID and the full name, our column C, it's not affected in one way or the other. Okay, so meaning the customer name is intact and our formula is intact. However, this does not even follow any formula or any formula of arranging your table or your data. We can insert another column in between the customer ID on our right hand table and our customer name, and does not affect our function. So I hope you've learned something, and try to play with these two functions. That is the VLOOKUP formula or function and the index match function. If you forget, kindly click on the link above and you will be able to also uh, have a look at my video on VLOOKUP function. Thank you so much. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment, and see you in the next video.